Hey guys, it's Liam here. Thanks for coming to see my channel. I'm an intuitive and I like to talk about different topics that I find relevant for people that are needing emotional support, spiritual guidance, and are generally just going through something and need support. Um, so today what I'd like to talk about more is why it's really difficult for people that are what we would consider sensitive or highly sensitive. Um, why it's difficult for those people, and you may be one of them, to create healthy boundaries. Um, Boundaries are something that kind of gets brandied about a lot in self-help circles, and it's sort of a little bit confusing. It can be confusing what that means. Does that mean, or what does it mean? And my definition typically is that you're allowed to say no, even if you feel uncomfortable. Sensitive people are really used to feeling into the emotional needs of the people around them and usually catering for those needs. So they get into a pattern or level of habituation of always trying to meet the needs of other people. And typically that happens at their own expense. So they get into a pattern basically of ignoring their own needs, which is another way of saying that they don't have healthy boundaries, right? Because a healthy boundary would recognize, oh, I have a need that prevents me from fulfilling the request that someone has made of me. Um, that request can be a verbal or it can be a nonverbal, right? It can be a habituation or an expectation that you're always going to bend over backwards for a friend and expect nothing in return, or you're always going to go out of your way to do what your partner wants without establishing what you want. And people that tend to overgive tend to attract people that overtake. And in our culture, we're socialized that giving is good, but we're never really taught how to say no and say, I don't want to give. Or say, oh, or maybe we think that's selfish, right? If we say no. And actually, saying no is one of the best ways you can self-care because you're actively and proactively preventing yourself from getting drained, right? Because what happens if you're always giving and never receiving? Sooner or later, you don't have any energy to give, and then you're shit out of luck. So it's actually really important to say no. But for healers or sensitive people, saying no is actually incredibly difficult because we're so aware of people's emotional needs, and we have a sort of instinct to want to help them, that we can often ignore our own needs and do it anyways. And this can apply really to any caregiver, care provider, where maybe you have a big heart and you're very aware of what people are going through, especially non-verbally, and you want to help. But remember, it's important to remember that in order to really help, you also have to have healthy boundaries. So this is just a reminder that boundaries are good. It might, like many things, take practice if you're used to not giving healthy boundaries, and it takes time, right? And you may feel guilty, you may feel weird, you may feel like, oh, I'm the worst person in the world for saying no. Actually, you're not. You're actually doing something that's really healthy, but we're not often told that, and there's not really a lot of positive reinforcement for taking care of ourselves. So this is just a great opportunity to be like, hey, I'm going to just say no. That doesn't mean I'm saying never. That just means in a certain circumstance, a certain situation, I have the right to protect my own energy, my own time, and respect my boundaries. And like I said, these things take time, these take practice, especially if you're used to justifying not having boundaries and letting people walk all over you and thinking like, oh, I'm being a good friend, where really people are just taking advantage of you. So, that can only happen if you allow yourself to be taken advantage of first. So that's just remember, just an awareness like, okay, I don't need to do this. This isn't healthy. And it starts a bigger conversation of helping you see your self-worth and restore your self-worth. So it's not just about pleasing other people to get your needs met. So that's just a little bit I'd like to want to share today. I'll be doing more daily insights on my YouTube channel for people that want more information about how to heal, how their energy works, how the subconscious mind works, how to kind of quote hack your subconscious so it's not working against you, which is something unfortunately a lot of people experience. But the good news is that it's actually, I wouldn't say easy, but that there is a way to get to clear this up so you're not always fighting against yourself, right? And that's really the power of using energy tools. So again, my name is Liam. Thanks for tuning in with me today, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Okay.